You know, it's been a long time since I've played a first-person shooter game like Leap here. Now, both in the sense that yes, it's a very movement-based, high-skill ceiling arena shooter, which is a style of shooter I don't think I've really played since, say, the Titanfall 2 days, but also in the sense that this game made me forget to eat food. I was legit so encapsulated, so addicted, just loving what this game was bringing to the table, that I quite simply forgot to eat and drink. Let's talk about why Leap gets it so right. G'day there once again viewers, your mate Kamikaze78 here, and today we're going to be taking our first look at Leap, a brand new first-person shooter game being developed by Blue Isle Studios. So, for those of you who are looking at your screen right now trying to make sense as to what the hell is going on, allow me to give you guys a quick rundown of Leap. As I said before, this is an arena shooter that takes on a big focus towards movement and skill-based gunplay. You choose between 4 exosuit classes, each of which sport their own playstyle, weaponry options, and abilities, with every class also getting access to an ability to dash, double jump, summon a pocket hoverbike, but most importantly, grapple hook at any given point in time. You fight in 20 vs 20 battles against opponents over objectives on the map in a domination-style game mode, and that is the general gist of Leap. Now, while that doesn't sound like much on the surface, allow me to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, this game is the breath of fresh air, cohesive design, and quality control that the wider first-person shooter market has been starved for years now. Leap is a fantastic concoction of good ideas that all have been implemented in a way that breeds some of the most addictive and rewarding first-person shooter experiences that we've seen over the last few years. The last time I saw an FPS game developed with such a clear picture of what it wanted to be while being unique as it was probably Titanfall 2. And as someone who has been looking for a new game of a similar style to replicate that experience, I've been blown away by what Leap has on offer here. If you were around for our live stream today, where we checked out the game for the first time, you would have seen just how much fun I was having with it. If you aren't subscribed yet, by the way, make sure you get subscribed so you don't miss out on the streams that we run right here on YouTube in the future. And I think that primarily this comes from the fact that the game feels like it was developed with a plan in mind. You can really tell the developers haven't been watching the industry and the trends and have tried to change their product over and over again to hit the hype thing that was running at the time to make the most amount of money. The developers had an idea and have stuck to it the entire time. And well, the execution as a result has been amazing. I want to talk briefly about all the elements that tell me that a lot of thought has gone into exactly how this game plays. Firstly, let's talk about the core of every first-person shooter game out there. The actual shooting. Straight out of the gate, the gunplay here is incredibly skill-based, and that primarily comes from the length of the time to kill in this game. There's going to be a lot of players that come to Leap, try and get themselves into the gunplay, and then feel as though it's a bit sluggish by comparison to some of the other shooters that they've played. And that's because it is. Leap has an incredibly long time to kill. And the most prominent effect that that lengthy time to kill has is the ability for counterplay in this game. If you start being engaged, or you start engaging an opponent, there is an element of counterplay available that allows you to turn the tide of a battle in your favor if you've got the skills to do it. The length of the time to kill in this game means that it's not a matter of who shoots first wins. There is always room for opportunity to counterplay unless you've gotten yourself in a really bad situation, like say being focus fired by about 3 enemies. Then the time to kill feels pretty quick. But in those straight 1v1 environments, there is a lengthy time to kill here that allows for that counterplay, and it also places a huge focus on aiming skill and an ability to track an opponent through their movement. It creates this dynamic and this ecosystem that means that if you die to an opponent that was able to track you perfectly, you know there was an element of skill at play there, and it makes the deaths feel less frustrating as a result. And the game even knows that there's an element of skill that should be rewarded if you can aim well. There's a sound effect that plays whenever you score a headshot kill that is a literal ka-ching, as though money is somehow appearing out of a target's head as you kill them. It's such a nice touch, and it just, adds to the character of the game and adds to the reward of going for those headshots and for aiming well. So out of the gate, the time to kill of the game is incredibly satisfying, and it allows for a lot of counterplay and a lot of scenarios where you yourself can mold an engagement into something that's in your favor. But the amount of weaponry and weaponry variety that's on offer here also can create some dangerous presets. Like, not many people like seeing shotguns in games because they can be quite cheesy and result in one-hit kill deaths that you don't feel like are very warranted. Well, I'm pleased to say that despite the fact that Leap has an abundance of weaponry options, such as assault rifles, SMGs, sniper rifles, shotguns, rocket launchers, heavier weaponry, even strange weapons that fire discs that bounce off surfaces and explode on contact. Despite that, there's no weapons in the game that feel incredibly cheesy. There's some weapons that are easier to use than others, yes, but there's still an element of skill at play there, and even the weapons that can potentially score these one-hit kills, these devastating strikes on opponents, they require a certain element of skill to adapt to and use properly, which to me kind of makes it so that there's never really a cheesy death in the game that feels annoying. In my entire time playing the game, I never felt like there was a death where I was frustrated because the opponent killed me with a certain weapon. At the end of the day, they were in the environment that worked for them, and the weapons feel balanced enough to not feel cheesy upon death, which makes the experience a whole lot less frustrating as a result. But I can't believe I've made it this far into the video without even starting to talk about the movement aspect of the game, and man oh man, does Leap get this right. One of the key aspects behind the movement being so good in this game is the constant ability to use the grapple hook. The grapple hook in this game has no downtime. You can use it back to back to back to back, no recharge time at all, which means that you can zip around maps with a lot of cover and try and break line of sights and turn engagements on your favor. If you need to close the distance on an opponent or make some distance on an opponent as fast as you can do so with the grapple hooks. And the whole design around them just allows for some incredible plays that, well, not many first-person shooter games are providing nowadays. In addition to that, characters have the ability to dash, which means you can, again, combine that with the grapple hooks to just make some excellent progress as fast as you can. And all players also have access to a pocket hoverbike that can be summoned at any given point in time as well. The maps in the game are quite large, and the capture points are spread out by a decent distance as well, which means that while yes, there can be moments of dense combat and dense engagements, there can be times where there will be sort of definite victories within a match. Moments of critical mass where, yeah, a team will wipe out the enemy team and you'll have to fall back to a certain capture point that may be 200, 300, sometimes 500 meters away before the next engagement can commence. And it provides a sense of pace in the game. While yes, there's a lot going on a lot of the time, there are downtime moments where you can sort of collect your thoughts, reorganize, and get ready for the next fight. It's really, really comfortable. And the hoverboards, hoverbikes means that, well, there's no tedious walking across open fields that are just going to leave you playing walking simulator for a while. It's a really nice change of pace. I have to also say that all of the classes that are in the game right now feel unique and like they have a place in the game, with your Pathfinder just being sort of the run-of-the-mill soldier that can, get stuff done with his trusty assault rifle and a shotgun secondary and a deployable shield. Maybe you want to take on board the heavier and tankier but less mobile Titan class. Maybe you want to take on board the stealthier, sniper class that is the Wraith, or you can take on board the Tech Ops, which takes on board a more supportive role in the game as well. As I said, all of the classes, despite this being sort of a high-octane, movement-based arena shooter, all have their place, and they all feel incredibly unique to play. Pathfinder is without a doubt my personal favorite. The mobility on offer in the game with the combination of an assault rifle and a shotgun loadout makes the class work very, very well for me personally. But at the end of the day, guys, everything we have here tells me that the vision for this game and the experience that has been cut as a result has been crystal clear since day one for these developers, and I am so happy with the end result. It's a game that rewards players for making skillful plays, but at the same time has an approachable enough skill curve that doesn't turn brand new players away at, well, the beat of a heart. There's that drive to want to get better at a game like this because it feels rewarding, and the reward is in the gameplay itself. And because of that, I want Leap to do well. I want it to succeed so much, because this to me is like a gem that is going to fill this gap in the first-person shooter market that I've been looking for a long, long time. Now, with that said, there were a couple of issues within this playtest that do need to be voiced. For one, as much as I did enjoy the movement mechanics of the game, the vaulting felt floaty at times. There were times where I tried to move below a certain ledge I was standing on, and I would find my character just getting stuck in this vaulting animation on the ledge, which was never fun to deal with. I also found a couple of bugs during my time with the game. That included, say, falling through the map, or having my secondary weapon no longer being equipable, or just crashing to desktop. That was a pretty common one as well, unfortunately. I also found the optimization of the game a little left to be desired as well. I'm running an RTX 3080 alongside an AMD Ryzen 5900X, and I was only able to really achieve just 130 to 140 frames per second on low settings while not streaming the game. Very, very questionable performance at the moment. I would like to see that get improved over time. time because, well, quite frankly, if this is going to be a high-octane first-person shooter title, it needs to run well. So I think some optimization may need to go a long way before this game comes out in the long run. But now I ask you, ladies and gentlemen, have you played Leap yet? If so, what are your thoughts on it? If not, are you interested? Does this look like a game you can get into? I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts in the comment section down below. As always, if you enjoyed the video, be sure to backhand the like button. It goes a long, long way in supporting the channel. And if you're someone who's brand new here, well, then consider backhanding that subscribe button on the way too, because, well, it means you get to keep up to date with whenever we go live or release a new video in the future. And as always, guys, social media links are linked down below. And a special thank you goes out to all of my channel members once again for supporting the channel. And, well, your support is greatly appreciated, guys. Once again, I hope you enjoyed today's video. Peace out, and I will see you guys all in the next one. Take care. Have a good one.